look awful?
No, you look fine.
Fabulous.
Work it, girl. Yes.
Alright, I don't remember anything. I don't know how it happened.
How romantic.
Oh my god.
Sorry it's not Hollywood.
Really? You have the chapstick now?
Yeah, I'm chapped.
Oh my god. Now you can look like you have lip gloss on.
Who does number 2 work for?
And remember, no wacky answers or anything. This is for her teacher's eyes only. And it's religion.
So no truth? Okay.
Would it be better if I squint my eye like Bob Costas? Make you more comfortable.
Huh.
Make it a lot more
Make us laugh.
real.
Should I stop sniffling?
It'd be recommended.
Alright,
Okay.
here we go.
Oh my god.
So, how long have you been married?
Is it on?
Yes.
How long has it been?
It will be 27 years next month.
We'll go with that.
How old were you when you met each other?
25? Maybe 24.
I was 21 going on 22.
Yeah, I'll go for 24.
Describe your courtship.
We dated for a year, and we got engaged. We were engaged for 10 months, and then we got married.
We met in church. And other places.
We kept seeing each other around.
Why did you decide to get married?
She was the one.
He's so cute. Describe your engagement.
It was 10 months long. It was a lot of wedding planning. And that's mostly what it was spent on, planning the wedding.
How old were you when you got married?
26. So you were 23.
23.
She was very young.
What were you looking for in a spouse?
Someone who shared my values. No, seriously. Faith, interest in the family, fun, do things together. Got that one right.
Got that one right?
How does the reality of marriage compare to your expectations of what marriage would be?
Yeah, you just take each day as it comes. And marriage changes every day with the family, and
It's just different. It's not like, dating's one thing, being newlyweds another, being married for 25 or 27 years is a whole nother story. I mean, you guys are around. There are more responsibilities. It's probably a little less fun.
I brighten up your day, get real.
fun in different ways.
How do children affect marriage?
Changed how our time together is spent. We had to take care of you guys.
But it was good. You were fun at every age.
Absolutely.
People always ask me which age was the best age for your kids. And I'm like, they're all good. They're just different. So it was fun at all the different ages.
Having children enhanced the family.
You did?
Absolutely.
I was doing pretty good right out of the chute.
How important are money and marriage? Similar values in religion, or cultural background, education?
Well, let's take them one at a
background?
time. Money and marriage. I don't think that money makes your marriage better. I probably think it's more difficult if you didn't have a lot of money. I think that not having money will cause you problems, but having money won't make you happier. I mean, having a lot of things, and it's really not what you're looking for in life. You're looking to be happy. So you don't need a lot of dough, you need to find the right person.
And I think having the same religion and values is important because it's something else that you could share, and sometimes when there's different religions or different values, it can be a source of stress.
That would have been a showstopper. But I mean, it's fair enough, right? I mean, for us, it would not have been okay to not have the same values and the same faith.
Cultural background. It's not like you two are very different.
Pretty similar. We're from similar neighborhoods.
You're 2 blocks away.
Similar backgrounds.
Same kind of descendants, Irish Americans.
Yeah.
Educational background?
I did not go to college. I went to secretarial school for a year and was out working. So, I don't know. it didn't bother me. I don't know if it bothered him that I didn't go to college, but by the time we met, I was young, but I had been working for several years, so we were kind of at the same point in our life about working and maturity and stuff like that. So I thought it was okay.
And age.
What didn't matter to us because we weren't very
We
different
weren't
in
that
age.
far apart. I do think that sometimes if there's a big age difference, it can be a problem. You know, because you'd be at different points in your life. We're only 3 years apart, so that's not a huge difference. You know, you get into 10 years apart in age, that can be a whole another ballpark. It's different.
What advice would you give to teenagers who are dating and thinking about getting married?
They have a long life ahead of them, and they shouldn't make that decision as a teenager. They should just kind of give themselves time.
I would say that you should go slowly. There's no rush to any of that stuff. And I think that it's interesting that people get married later now. I think it allows them to meet a lot of other people and see a lot of different things. But I'm not sure that their slowness is necessarily an asset. But my advice to you would be that there's no rush, that you can meet a lot of people. And you know what? You're going to spend a lifetime with whoever that is that you wind up marrying. So I don't see any rush to, unless you're absolutely certain about who you're going to marry.
And what advice would you give to a young married couple that is experiencing marital difficulties and thinking about divorce?
I don't volunteer a lot of things in that area because I don't think that anybody really knows what's going on in someone else's marriage. But if they came to me and asked me for advice, probably to be more patient.
I was gonna say give it time.
And you know, see if those things will work themselves out over time. You want to be patient. You want to be patient in two ways. You want to be patient in picking who you marry, and then you want to be patient about that things aren't always perfect.
Looking back, what would you do differently if you could?
We couldn't decide where we wanted to live when we were younger, and I was, you know, pretty successful at work, so we had a lot of different choices. And I wanted to buy somewhere that had some land, and that's why we live here. We built this house, basically it was an empty lot. It was a meadow for a horse farm. The only thing I would say that's different is where I grew up, and where your mom grew up, was a middle-class neighborhood in Massapequa, and there were lots of people around. Where we live now, our neighbors are not within eyesight. We don't see them very often. There wasn't a lot of kids here for you to play with. So the only thing I would say that I might choose to do differently would be to have chosen to live somewhere else. If we lived somewhere else, I think that you'd have been brought up differently. I think Sean would have been brought up, our children would have been brought up differently. And it's just something that I would recommend that you think about. What kind of environment you're going to raise your kids in.
If I lived on a bigger block, I would have been king of the hill. Deck some other
Who knows?
kids. What would you say is the key to a happy marriage?
Respect. Love and respect. Understanding.
I think having similar interests and similar values. Yeah, I mean, when you look at your brother and Jordan, I think they have very similar interests. So you can learn by example by watching.
Sesame seeds instead, please. Do you think that a couple should live together before deciding to get married? Why or why not?
I'm against it.
Yeah, I'll vote no too. I don't know that that's going to help. And in fact, if anything, it probably delays the process, and maybe delays some of the commitment, and then people get dragged along, and they feel like they sort of got used in the process.
I also feel that it can give them the easy way out. You know, like they're not as bound to stick together if the tough time comes along in those early years of being together, like in marriage, if they have.
Or they might not feel like they have to stick together at all because they're not married.
Because they're not married. That's what I'm saying. When you're married, you feel like you have to at least work it out. You made a commitment. It's a bond.
Alright, that's it. You said it's over. Top Hollywood actors.
Not exactly when Harry Met Sally.
It doesn't happen.
I should have got my balls buckled.